Professional voiceover used to mean three things: a sound-treated studio, a microphone that costs more than your laptop, and an hourly rate that could sync a small channel before its first upload. In 2026, it means a browser tab in about 10 minutes. But here's what nobody tells you: the tools are the easy part. The difference between an AI voiceover that sounds robotic and one that sounds like a professional narrator read your script is almost never the engine. It's the workflow around it. Today, I'm walking you through the entire pipeline step by step: how to write scripts that sound human when spoken aloud, how to pick the right text-to-speech engine for your exact budget, including a genuinely free option that runs on your own computer, how to iterate on takes like a director, how to clean up the audio for free, and how to sync everything to your video. By the end, you'll be able to produce a narration track that most listeners cannot tell from a hired voice actor. Let's start where every good voiceover actually begins: the script.
Step 1, and I'm serious, this is where 80% of bad AI voiceovers are born. Write for the ear, not the page. Text-to-speech engines read your punctuation literally. A comma becomes a short breath. A period becomes a full stop with weight behind it. A 40-word sentence with no punctuation becomes a monotone drone that no engine can save. So write short sentences, one idea per sentence. Then look at your acronyms and your money, because TTS engines butcher them. A 4-letter Reddit abbreviation gets read as ITA. A graphics processor becomes JPU. $10K in revenue becomes $10K. Spell out anything weird phonetically before you generate. Same with numbers, write 2026 if that's how you want it heard. And pace yourself. Most engines narrate at roughly 150 words per minute. So a 1,000-word script is about a 7-minute video. Write to your target length, not past it. Final check, read the script out loud yourself. Anywhere you stumble, the engine will stumble worse. Fix it on the page first, it's free and it takes 5 minutes.
Step 2, pick your engine and do it by budget tier. Tier 1 genuinely free forever. Kokoro is an open-source voice model that runs entirely on your own machine. You download it once, it works offline, and there's no per-character bill, no subscription, no rate limit. If you're producing daily content, this is your workhorse. Tier 2, freemium cloud. ElevenLabs is the name everyone knows, and the free tier gives you 10,000 credits a month. 1 credit is roughly 1 character, so that's about 10 minutes of finished audio, enough to test voices and produce 1 short video. Their starter plan at $6 a month bumps that to 30,000. Tier 3 API, pricing at scale. OpenAI Speech API charges $15 per 1 million characters on the standard model, and double that for the HD voice. 1 million characters is roughly 11 hours of narration. So even the HD tier costs less than $3 per finished hour. Here's the strategy: prototype and test free, then pay only when the project is real. Never pay to experiment.
Step 3 is where amateurs and pros split: iteration. Never accept your first generation, that's a rough draft, not a take. Generate 3 versions of every script. The same voice, same text 3 times, because these engines have natural variation between runs, and take 2 is often noticeably better than take 1. Then learn the 2 settings that matter. Stability, some engines call it style or variance. Low stability gives you expressive. Emotional reads with more pitch movement. High stability gives you consistent, flat, reliable delivery. Trailers and drama, low stability. Tutorials and documentation, higher stability. Now, the trick that saves the most time: when a line sounds wrong, resist the urge to re-roll first. Listen again is the problem: pacing. 9 times out of 10, adding a comma or splitting a sentence fixes it. And a punctuation edit is instant and free, while a re-roll is a fresh gamble. One more habit: listen to your finalists on both speakers and earbuds before choosing. A take that sounds great on headphones can sound muddy on laptop speakers, and that's where half your audience lives.
Step 4, cleanup. Even great TTS output needs 5 minutes of polish, and you can do all of it with free tools. First, noise reduction. In Audacity, select a second of pure silence in your track, get the noise profile, then apply reduction to the whole file. This removes that faint hiss some engines leave behind. Second, and this is the single biggest upgrade, loudness normalization. Narration for video should sit around -16 LUFS. If one video is quiet and the next is loud, viewers reach for the volume knob and YouTube's algorithm notices when they bail. Audacity has a loudness normalization effect built in, or if you live in the terminal like me, ffmpeg's loud norm filter does it in 1 line. Third, trim the dead air. Cut any silence longer than about 1.5 seconds and shave the breath gaps the engine inserts mid-sentence. You want the pace to feel like a person talking with intent, not someone reading while half asleep. Export as WAV for editing, or high bitrate MP3 if it's going straight into a video. Total time cost: About 5 minutes per script, $0.
Step 5. Assembly, and the rule is audio first, always. Measure your narration's exact duration before you touch a single visual. If you use ffmpeg, the probe command gives you the duration to the millisecond. Every editor shows it too. Now build the video to fit that number, never the reverse. The most common beginner mistake is cutting a nice visual sequence, and then speeding up or awkwardly trimming the narration to squeeze into it. That's how you get narration that sounds rushed at the end of every section. Give the first word about 1/3 of a second of padding, and let the last word breathe before your outro. Slide any background music underneath at 10 to 15% volume, loud enough to add texture, quiet enough that nobody notices it until it's gone. If your music has vocals, drop it even lower or pick an instrumental. Competing lyrics fight your narration for the listener's attention. Export H. 264 video with AAC audio, standard bitrate, and check the final file on a phone before you publish. If it sounds good on a phone speaker, it sounds good everywhere.
Step 6. The one people skip right before it costs them a channel. Licensing and ethics. Here's the distinction that matters. Free to generate and free to use commercially are two different sentences. On ElevenLabs, commercial rights kick in with the paid plans. The free tier is for evaluation and non-commercial work, so a monetized video narrated on the free tier can put your channel at risk. Open-source local engines usually ship with permissive licenses, but read the actual license file for the specific model and voice you use. Some individual voices carry their own terms. Budget one coffee break of reading before you monetize anything. Now the ethics line, because this one's not gray. Never clone a real person's voice without their explicit consent. Not a celebrity, not a friend as a joke, not a deceased artist as a tribute. Beyond being a lawsuit magnet, platforms are increasingly requiring disclosure when synthetic voices imitate humans, and the honest move is also the safe one. Disclose AI narration when your audience would otherwise assume it's a person. Transparency ages well, takedowns don't.
Let's run the full checklist back. Write for the ear short sentences, phonetic spellings, 150 words a minute. Pick your engine by budget tier, a local open model like Kokoro for unlimited free generation, ElevenLabs free 10,000 monthly credits to test premium voices, or the API route at $15 per million characters when you're publishing at scale. Iterate like a director, 3 takes. Adjust stability for emotion versus consistency, and remember a moved comma is a free retake. Clean up in 5 minutes with noise reduction, loudness normalization to around -16 lufs, and ruthless trimming of dead air. Assemble audio first and cut the visuals to fit the narration. And before anything goes live on a monetized channel, verify your commercial rights and keep your hands off voice cloning without consent. That's the entire professional pipeline, and except for the optional paid tiers, every step of it runs on free software.
If this saved you a studio bill, subscribing is a lot cheaper, and it's how you catch the next workflow breakdown the day it drops. Hit subscribe, tell me in the comments what project you're voicing, and I'll see you in the next one. For your information, this has been FYI Bot.